Now that we have understood the reason and historical example of Sati, let us move towards one of the most important aspects, the reformers who raised their voices against this cruel practice. And the eventual abolition of Sati, the Sati Pratha, was not just a religious or social issue. It was deeply human tragedy. Thousands of women were forced to die in the flames of their husband' funeral pyre. While society glorified it as a symbol of loyalty and purity, but in every age, courageous voices arise to challenge injustice. In the case of Sati, these voices came from reformers within India and from the law introduced during colonial rule. One of the earliest moral challenges came from Buddhism and Jain traditions, which rejected violence and emphasized compassion. These philosophies reminded people that no scripture could justify the taking of a human life. However, despite such teachings, Sati continued in many Hindu communities. By the 18th and 19th century, the Indian witnessed a wave of reformers who dared to question the practice. The most famous among them was Raja Ram Mohan Roy, often called the father of Indian Renaissance. His opposition to Sati was deeply personal. He had seen his own sister-in-law forced to commit Sati, and this painful memory drove his lifelong mission against it. Raja Ram Mohan Roy studied the Vedas, Upanishads, and other scriptures and proved that nowhere was Sati commanded as a religious duty. Instead, he showed that Hindu texts respected life and compassion. He wrote powerful pamphlets, published essays, and gave public speeches to expose the cruelty of Sati. He argued that it was not religion but superstition and social pressure that kept the practice alive. Roy faced massive opposition. Orthodox groups called him a traitor, threatened him, and even tried to silence him, but he remained fearless. His courage inspired many others to question harmful traditions. Another reformer, Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar, also contributed to this movement. While his focus was mainly on widow remarriage and women's education, his efforts weakened the social pressure that led to Sati. He argued that widows should not be treated as outcasts but given dignity, opportunities, and the right to remarry. If widows were respected, the very foundation of Sati would collapse. Meanwhile, in the colonial administration, the William Bentinck, the Governor General of India, realized that importance of addressing this cruel custom. With strong support from Raja Ram Mohan Roy, Bentinck passed the Bengal Sati Regulation Act in 1829, which declared Sati illegal and punishable by law. This was a historic moment. For the first time, law directly challenged an old tradition that has cost countless women their life, but the abolition was not smooth. Many Orthodox groups protested. They claimed the British were interfering in the religion. Some even threatened violence. Still, the law stood strong, and with time, the number of Sati cases began to decrease. The story of the abolition of Sati reminds us of three key lessons. First, reformers like Raja Ram Mohan Roy prove that individual courage can change society. Second, education and awareness are powerful weapons against blind tradition. Third, law, when combined with reform movements, can permanently and cruel practice. As we move forward in the next part, we will reflect on the lesson that Sati Pratha has left behind for modern society.